Hey, what's up everybody? This is starting to become a regular thing and I'm enjoying it, to be honest. Me coming back to the theater. Obviously it's not back to what it used to be. I mean, this place is pretty empty right now. Granted, it is past midnight, but I mean, on a Thursday, once upon a time, I mean, this place was so full you couldn't find a place to stand, let alone sit at a movie theater. But, you know, I suppose it's all part of the adjustment period. Anyways, this is what I came to see today. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And by the way, it turns out, yes, it is actually called Shang-Chi. Some people call it Shang-Chi. No, it's Shang-Chi, apparently. I had some people correcting me about that. Anyways, as you can see, I'm missing one of my rings. Must have dropped it coming back from the movie theater one time, and so right now I'm only sporting 9 rings. Well, 10 specifically, technically, if you count this. But yeah, I need to find this ring because I mean it's the Green Lantern ring. It's the most important one. However, these aren't the same kinds of rings. Apparently, these are these kinds of rings, which I guess it's a departure from the comics, but I mean, still technically does kind of fall into the category of rings. Anyways, apparently, this guy is going to be the Mandarin or something. I don't know. I try to stay away from news about this movie as much as possible because Shang-Chi is one of those Marvel properties that I know absolutely nothing about. And it's been a while since I could say that about a Marvel movie coming out. So, pretty excited. I mean, I know a little bit about the Ten Rings. I've seen Shang-Chi in comics maybe once or twice. So I know next to nothing about this guy. Except, apparently, oops, hold on. Apparently Abomination's gonna be in this movie. Blonsky, which is great. Haven't seen him since the Incredible Hulk movie that everyone wanted to forget about. Except for Marvel. But yeah. I'm gonna go see this movie now. And hopefully I like it. I'll let you know once I come out of it. Hopefully this time I'll actually remember to record the second half of this episode before getting out of the movie theater. See you then. Well, this is kind of a new experience for me. The movie theater is empty. It's closed. Fitting, because it's past 3 in the morning. Never actually thought I'd ever stay in this place this late, but, well, here I am. Anyways, I just came out of this thing, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And, well, I'll start by saying I loved it. I really, really loved it. I mean, I'm going to say something that's a little controversial, but I'm going to say it anyways, because that's my honest opinion. To me, Shang-Chi is the template for a quintessential MCU movie. Not Marvel movie, MCU movie. Specifically with the way the MCU has been handled. Right from the get-go. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they brought in the Ten Rings right in the first Iron Man movie. I'm not talking about that. I'm just... without spoiling much, it's the way the MCU is somehow able to take fantastical elements, like, minor spoiler, dragons and, specifically for this movie, Asian culture, myths and gods, and somehow mix it in with science and aliens and advanced technology that for humans kind of seems like magic. And obviously understanding the comics and where the inspiration for a lot of this stuff comes from, you can see that displayed in this movie. Now obviously another great detail that makes this thing a quintessential MCU movie is the fact that they don't just translate the comics into screen. They cherry pick stuff from the comics and kind of give their own unique spin on what the story could be. I feel like someone's gonna kick me out of the theater in just a minute. Give me just a second. Well, they're gone now. Should probably leave in just a couple of minutes, but I just want to finish my thought here. So, yeah. As I was saying, The way the MCU cherry picks stuff from the comics and sort of waves it in to the movies, getting a bit of a different spin on it, but not forgetting the comic book origins. That is displayed excellent on this movie. Another reasoning for me calling it the quintessential MCU movie is just the way that they were able to introduce an entirely new character, an entirely new section of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and yet somehow we're able to tie it into the wider MCU, the bigger picture. And like I said, I think I'm sorry, it doesn't say the name of the director. Dustin something. I was trying. It's got a long, complicated name. I tried to look at the credits, but anyways, I think he did a marvelous job, the director, of displaying everything I just said into this movie specifically, which I think is great. It's a great movie. Might need to watch it a couple of times to see where it stacks up in my sort of ranking of the other MCU movies, but for now I'll just say I really, really, really liked it. And obviously the visuals were great, as the MCU is famous for at this point. Fight scenes were incredible. They somehow were able to, somehow they keep one-upping themselves with the fight scenes and the situations and the locations and just the action choreography in general. This is definitely a martial arts movie. It feels like a martial arts movie in the traditional sense, with comic book elements woven in there, and obviously fantastical elements, and obviously, as I said, MCU elements thrown in there. Plot-wise, like I said, it feels like a pretty generic martial arts movie. Doesn't feel like a generic MCU movie. So I guess that's one way of putting it. And I know I just said that it's a quintessential MCU movie, but not, beside the point. Villain-wise, very different from the villains we normally used to get in the MCU up until this point. Without spoiling much, they did something unique with the villain that I don't think any MCU movie has done so far. Couple of other Marvel movies have done to great effect. I'll just say that. But something that hasn't been done in the MCU at this point, and that's all I'm going to say at this point. What else? This thing right here. Kind of a major disappointment, but if you watch the movie all the way to the end and all the way through the post-credit scenes, and yes, there are 2 post-credit scenes as usual, it works out. It pays off. Trust me, you'll just have to watch the post-credit scenes to know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this almost an episode, I guess that's what it is. This episode of this long television show that we call the MCU was great. Very well shot, very well acted, and yeah, like I said, it's a quintessential MCU movie, and it's great. It's a great setup for things to come, while also introducing a whole new section of the MCU, and I'm glad I watched it. So yeah, I think they're going to kick me out of the theater in just a minute, so I should probably go away. Goodbye. Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.